Riker's Iron presents.
Riot Quest, Aeronator, Riot Quest. Okay, ladies and gents, let's do this. I'm not going to turn on song requests yet. We're going to do that when we start building and doing all that with the models. We're going to open up the box. We're going to do our usual review. So we're going to go over... Actually, here, let me switch it up. Camera switch. Riot Quest. So, ladies and gents, that's my keyboard. That's the starter box right there. The starter box. A little bit of a glare on there. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome to the Riker's Iron Riot Quest unboxing. We're going to be going over our typical three-pronged review. We're going to go over the packaging. We're going to go over the contents. And then we're going to take a look at each individual mini on their own. And then give a rating between poor and perfect. So let's jump in. In between each section, I'll also questions and stuff. So let's just jump in and start going over it. So this is the box, the Riot Quest box. I got a chance to actually look at this box at Lock and Load. They had a mock-up for it, and it was actually a little deceiving because the one at Lock and Load I don't believe was this actual box. It was it felt rougher to the touch. It wasn't as smooth. It wasn't as glossy. It felt like more like a cardboard box printed on it. So I thought it was going to be like, I could be wrong. I just remember it being touch different. Because I remember feeling it and being like, ooh, this feels different. It's pretty much the standard box. Like if you've purchased any Monster Apocalypse boxes, starter sets, it's the exact same kit. I actually really like these boxes because these boxes can be reused for storage, transport, and all that. Just a cool thing to put on your shelf for bits or for the actual minis or for the game itself. And they're actually nice. They could actually be kept and reused. So let's take a look around the box and see what's on it here. So we got the cool art. It's pretty cool. Contains 100% Mayhem. Speaking of which, we'll be kicking off Mayhem Mondays this Monday with more Riot Quest on Monday. So we'll continue this madness on Monday. Cool. It's got a how to play really quick on the side. Sorry, you guys might not be able to see that too well. My camera is already up pretty high. So how to play, choose 5 Riot Quest models, roll dice, knock out your opponent's characters, now grab the loot quick, laugh hysterically, rinse and repeat. And it's true, this game feels like it's going to be very much a Riot to play. Outrageous skirmish battle game for battling for booty. Pretty cool. It's got Dez on the front. And let's take a look at the back here. This is what we kind of came here for, was that back piece. So let's take a peek what it says. It's the end of the world as we know it. Time to get paid. The once great Iron Kingdoms are now a pile of smoldering ruins. That's a true story. But there's treasure everywhere. If you got the gumption to fight for it, you'll need a crackerjack crew, gobs of gear, and lots of love for chaos of battle if you're going to score the best leftover loot in the land. But watch out. It's every human, dwarf, elf, and goblin for themselves in this outrageous quest for bodacious booty. Oh yeah, bodacious booty. And I'm talking about sacks of coin, ladies and gents, not what you think it is. Riot Quest is a fast-moving, highly unpredictable skirmish game for up to 4 players using hobby miniatures. It's pretty cool. I'm still not 100% sure on the rules themselves. I've watched the 2 battle reports. I watched the first one twice and the second one only once, and the second one was live. It is very fast-moving and very much chaotic and unpredictable. So this is the starter box content that you're going to get. You're going to get Dez, Iris, Sir Dreyfus, Gubb, and Bamfist, which is already a really cool group of models. We'll also be taking a look at James a little bit as well. Players 2 to 4, which is kind of neat. Time to learn, 5 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes to play. Hours of fun infinite. So the contents, this is what we kind of want to know. So when we open this box, we're good to go. The reason why I'm worried about this is because it went through customs twice, and when it came back to us, my shipping box was just a chaotic mess of stuff thrown into. It was just like thrown back into the box, and you'll see what I mean in a second. I chose the better of the boxes to unbox. That wasn't as effed up from importers, but yeah. So contents, we should have 5 miniatures, 15 dice, the arena map, rulebook, 5 hero stat cards, 38 game cards, and tokens. I'm still hoping all that stuff is in there, but we'll have to take a peek. And yeah, so for those of you who don't know, this starter box here contains everything you need to play the game, to start playing the game. Whether they're going to start selling some of the stuff separate, I mean, you can already get the dice and things separate from Monster Apocalypse because it uses the same dice as that. Same kind of system with like strikes and defense and super damage and all that stuff kind of transfers over very well. Granny Panties is very excited to play this. She actually was the one who's like, I want to play this. And so that's why we're supporting it here on the stream. Because as you know, I was a little bit hesitant at first because I didn't know too much about the game. And we were very frustrated with that. It sounded cool, but it was always just like this cartoony, fluffy Riot Quest. Like, hey guys, get excited, it's Riot Quest. But like, I can't get excited about something I don't know anything about. I'm not a bandwagon guy. But now that we've seen the gameplay, we've seen the models. Exactly, right there. That's the only thing we got for a year and a little bit, like 13 months, was that literal animation. And so we're like, how are we supposed to get excited about that? Yeah, so I am excited about this game now. Now that we've seen the models, we've seen the gameplay, both multiplayer and just one-on-one. It looks so crazy. It looks like so much fun. Very excited. And Hungerford does a really good game. And, I mean, there's a lot of people in our Discord that were very excited, too. And they were a little bit more gung-ho about it and knew that it was going to be, but I'm always hesitant, just because I've been burned in previous games, getting too excited for something. So, let's just jump back. The box itself, what do we think? Also, one thing I want to make mention. Now, this is on the bottom of the box, which is kind of weird. You'd think it would be on the back. It says models are fully compatible with War Machine and Hordes. So if you are watching this on our VOD on Twitch, or if you're watching this on YouTube, all the models you see here are playable and transferable to War Machine and Hordes. So if you're looking for something to expand your force, you can do that. So, box itself, content... Oh, sorry, the box itself is great. I love these boxes. They are a little bit flimsy. They're not as tough as some other starter boxes, but they're way better than the War Machine and Horde starter boxes. So I'm going to give this a great. I really, really like them. I like the art. I like all the things. And I like that it's storage for the game and for future expansions and stuff. So, box itself, great. Okay, so let's pop this open, see what's inside, and you can see the chaos that was importers. Psh. So also, one of the cool things I like about these boxes, they make great photo booths for your dudes. So Monster Apocalypse has really nice design inside, and so does this. It's a little side nugget, something I should probably, I'll attach onto that box review, but it's a nice little... If you look at it here, you can put your guys up, you get a nice display going, and you can take some pictures. Little booth. I don't know if that's intentional, but that's what I've been trying to do with my Monster Apocalypse. So, you can see the case where the miniatures used to be, open and thrown about. Customs, like I said, did a number on my boxes. This was the box that had the most untouched and complete stuff, not everywhere. So let's make sure everything is here. So we got 15 dice. Let's make sure we got 15 dice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we got 15 dice. Perfect. We got the whole Monster Apocalypse stuff, and we can have some bonus blue dice for Mompoc. Contents. We have this wooden, or sorry, this cardboard thing for whatever reason. Thank you for that follow. We'll get you shout out in a second here. So we have our quest cards, which I'm glad are still sealed. I was worried that this was going to be ripped open. What else do we got in here? We got ourselves a little promo card. Very cool. I love these little promo cards. Look back at them later and be like, I remember going there, or I remember that specific release. Okay, so let's make sure the minis are there. Actually, no, let's do the minis last. We'll do all this stuff. So we have our cards, which we'll take a look at in a second. We have the arena map. Riot Quest. Look at that. It's very nice. I like the colors on this. I like the artwork in this. We'll open this map in a sec. Let's make sure we got all of our regular content. We got the rulebook. It's very thin. It's very nice. It's very Monsterpocalypse size, which is good. Condensed, easy to transport with, and it gives you. Oh, I didn't even notice. Cool model gallery. You got yourselves the Wave 1, sorry, the core set, and then the Wave 1 releases. So, James, Widget, Boomhowler, Harlow, and Gorman. All coming soon, which we probably will end up painting here on the stream. Or on Sarah's stream, because she's going to be grabbing a bunch of dudes as well. Okay, so this is our... Let's make sure all the ones that Customs screwed up are still in here, which looks like we got our cooler still, which is nice. I was worried we were going to lose that. We got... So we're missing 4. Oh no, wait. This is a token. We got one of the tokens. We got a treasure token. These are way smaller than I thought they were, but it's not a bad thing. I thought some of these things were a little bit bigger because of the stream. Okay, good. So none of the tokens after Customs ripped this open are missing. Here, let's do the actual proper artwork. So let's do a little panoramic thing. I'm gonna review the actual contents in the next section. So I just want to show you, make sure everything was in there. Nothing was misprinted. And finally, the minis themselves. So let's count them out. It looks like we're missing a base. It's supposed to be, I think there's supposed to be 5 dudes in here. That's what it said. We're missing a base, which is already not a good sign. We have... Do we have all the parts for Iris? Let's make sure that we do. It looks like we do. We got her things there. Dez. We got her blasty arm. We have a bendy arm that we need to find right here. And I don't think she has anything else on her. I think she's good. So we have all her parts. I'm just going to separate them over here for now. Gubbins, who won the People's Choice Award, aka the one who will paint first. We got Gubbins and his little flame hand. So we got all of Gubbins' parts, which is good because he's being painted up first today. Or hopefully today. Bamfist and his Bamfist. Looks like we got all his parts. And finally Sir Dreyfus. Oh wait, I forgot the little flame thing on... Whose flame is this? Oh wait, no, it's Bamfist's top knot. And finally Sir Dreyfus, which weirdly has 1 resin piece, which is not expecting. I wasn't expecting any resin in this kit. Which is kind of unfortunate. I feel like it would have been very, very cool to have a resin collection of these models. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of metal minis. More so metal units than solos, which all these are solos, so it's not a big deal. So it looks like all the contents are here minus 1 base. I can't give it a perfect rating because of that, but I will definitely give it a great. Everything in here looks good so far. It's all there. Our stuff wasn't missing after Customs ripped it open. Oh, good call. You were correct, Ponto. Ponto, the hornblower. The base was in there. The base was in there, so it is a perfect rating, ladies and gents. Okay, so let's review the contents of the actual box itself. The dice and things I'm not going to go over. We went over some of this with Monsterpocalypse, but they're really nice. I'll keep the box here, actually. It'd be a good little spot to dump things in. The dice are really nice. They come with different amount of strikes on them. They're nice and carved in there, so if you guys used any of the Monster Apocalypse dice from 1.0, they were painted on. So over time, they rubbed away, and you kind of had to replace your dice or paint on or remember which ones were rubbed away. But these are nice and carved in there, and they're all in there. So I really, really like these dice, and they gave you a D6 because there are a few D6 rolls in the game. But let's look at the actual other things. So the book itself, everything you need to play is in here. It's really nice and tight. I mean, I read through the PDF, which was nice and tight. It follows a good flow. It follows a good, you know, how to play, how to, like, what all the stuff means, how to play, and then all the fancy rules that come in through stuff over time. Like how to buy Riot gear, and bounties, and how to deal with them, and who wins, and how many turns. There you go. See? What's adjacent? What's terrain? All that stuff. It's a really nicely put together rulebook. Of the rulebooks that I've read, I feel like the Monster Apocalypse one was really nicely organized, and the same with this Riot Quest one was also nicely organized. Comparing it to their War Machine and other ones, the like Monster Apocalypse and the Riot Quest one specifically is really well done. So very, very nice on that. Yeah. So the tokens, let's take a look at these tokens. I love the artwork on these tokens. It almost feels like they went back to their Gobber, what's it called? I was gonna say Gobber Quest. The Bodger days, when they had the Goblin Bodgers and all their crazy games like that. Like, it has that feeling to it, that style of artwork. And they're nice and thick tokens, like really nice and thick. They don't bend. They're not gonna. You'll probably end up losing them, which is unfortunate, but they're definitely not going to bend. They have a nice quality to them. They're not textured like the Widower's Wood or the Undercity stuff, where it has that almost like a cross-hatching kind of feel to it. This is nice and smooth. It's really, really... I love these tokens. I love looking at them, and they're very colorful and playful. I'll probably end up using these for other games too, like these little skull tokens and the little wound tokens. Could be used for Company of Iron. Could be used for even War Machine and Hordes. You can drop down some wound tokens on a dude. I don't know. Sky's the limit with this stuff. I really, really like it. I like it. And they also announced 3D treasure tokens for representing each treasure chest here that they're going to be releasing this fall/winter. So stay tuned for that. We're definitely doing unboxing for those ones because I'm looking forward to getting those, painting them up. I love physical representations of tokens and objectives and all that jazz. Very, very nice. So I definitely like those. Those are perfect to me. Those are absolutely perfect. That's what I want when I get a token in a game. Some games they're wide and thin. I like that they're kind of small and compact and thick. I don't like thin ones because they tend to bend. I don't like big ones because they're annoying to kind of put back in the package and store. And yeah. So that's perfect for that. Definitely perfect. I need a knife to open these up. So we'll take a look at the cards. Nice and sealed. Fancy schmancy. Oh man. So I will say this, if you guys remember the War Machine cards, these feel a little bit thinner than the War Machine cards. They actually feel closer to paper stock than anything, which is weird given the tokens are so thick and they feel durable. These ones feel a little bendy and thin in comparison. Do I have the hero cards? I do have the hero cards. So let's separate these here. I like that they got the game symbols one. That's kind of cool. So let's grab the hero cards. We'll separate those. We'll separate the puzzles, the scrap, the equipment, the game board, and the bounties. So again, the artwork and the cleanliness of this reminds me of the old Bodger days, and the simplicity of it. It's really nice. I also like that they gave you like collector numbers at the bottom, so you know if you're missing one or not. Very nice. Like I was saying, the cardstock's a little thin. It feels very bendy. You definitely need to put some hard cases or something around them to just... something a little stiffer. Keep them from bending and wearing out. Puzzle chest, hidden chest, locked chest, spiked chest, and the ticking chest, iron chest. So cool. I love these little chests, and all of them are different. They all do different things. So when you open a chest, you roll a blue dice, and you end up with whatever the results are inside. So again, it's very random. The game is like... comparing it to games like War Machine and Hordes, Monster Apocalypse, skirmish games in general, you can strategize all you want, but at the end of the day, you probably won't get more than your next turn in terms of strategy making sense. Because it's just, there's so much stuff happening, like just between opening chests and completing bounties and things dropping off from being killed. Dice well. That's game related. Got some cool equipment here. So every model in the book, sorry, in the case, comes with like a cool Riot gear thing that you get to add to the gear pile to possibly buy. With from Des with Love. And again, the artwork is just so cool. And what's also kind of neat about all this stuff is, let me, was there the bounty cards? Yeah. So you can see on the bounty cards, they're also color-coded for people. Gunner or guard heroes. Fighter, scout, rogue, specialist. Like, they have color coding, so it kind of gives you an idea of what you can use to do things, what uses what. Scrap! This is just the scrap tokens. So let's take a look at their the gameplay cards. So we got the dice well where you store all your dice in. We don't need to look at that too much. I love that they have this game symbols card. I remember they used to do this for Monster Apocalypse as well. You'd have the different cheat sheet for the new expansions. I like that they have this on here, what everything is. So you have a quick reference, and then you have your reminder card, which I feel like more games need to do this. Just come out with a quick sheet at the end of the book, or a card with it, or something to just summarize really quick what a character can do, or what they can do using their abilities. Like, love that. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Dreyfus, the Stone Knight. I'm not going to be painting up any of my guys like the artwork on the card. There'll be some variations depending on what I'm painting them up for. Like Gubbins will probably get the painting styling of my Circle of the Haunted Hollows, because I have a lot of goblins in there for obvious reasons. Just have some nice artwork, and again, they're all color coded. Iris is yellow. I love some of these powers. I like that everybody has a special power. Like a class power, I mean. I like that they have class power, they have a specialty, and then they have some sort of other nuttiness. And then you can add gear on top of that to do more stuff, boost things. Really cool little system. And it definitely feels a lot like those Hero Builder MOBAs, where you go out, you kill guys, you get points to upgrade your guy with. Very nice. Back to Sir Dreyfus. So the cards, I'm going to give them a great... They're not perfect because I don't like the card stock, but I really like the colorfulness. They cram a lot of stuff on the card, but it's still clean. It's easy for people to look at, understand, and show off. Like if I have this on the side or on another camera, so you can see... so you can see what's going on for live games. Again, it's going to be very, very nice and simple for kids, for people who are not used to gaming, for your friends. If you got them over and you're having a drunk game of it, you'll be able to see things very, very clearly. So, again, a great score. Little flimsy on the cardstock, but besides that, very nice. Very good. It's great. It is great. So we got some stuff here in the chat. Ponto says recommended card sleeve size is 2.5 by 3.5 inches, or 63.5 millimeters, or by 88 millimeters for you in the UK or here in Canada. They're the same card material as the mini crate cards. I just noticed. Oh, okay, I feel like the mini crate cards though are a little bit tougher. At least that's what it feels like to me. I'm going to be looking at this map, but then I'm going to grab the Neoprene map as well. So I'll open this up a little bit here, just because I want to see the bends in the map itself. So with paper maps, I know a lot of people hate this, and I too kind of am not really a big fan. I tend to put these in a poster, in a poster sleeve. You can get top loaders, you can laminate it, you can do a lot of stuff to alleviate the paper wearing and going away. But honestly, if you look at this already, like this is kind of a little concerning. I'm already getting a rip, and I haven't even played the game yet through one of the corners. Like, that's a little much. That's a little shitty. The board itself is very clear and colorful. It's very simple. You can see what everything is. You have your treasure places, your teleportation places, your terrain, your hex board, your difficult terrain, which is marked off with the hazard stripes. Now let's compare Customs. Maybe it might be Customs' fault for the rip. I have no idea, but it seems to be pretty consistent across the board on all the corners here. Oh man, this one is actually ripped. I actually have like ripped packaging here. Thunderhead Fortress. So they're releasing the Neoprene version of this next week. So let's do a little comparison here. So Private Chip Press also sent us the Neoprene map here of Thunderhead Fortress. The colors aren't as crisp, I'm noticing, but they're a lot easier to see on a camera. Let me find that corner again and we can compare the two. So you have Thunderhead Fortress and Thunderhead Fortress. You can... Let me pull that this way a little bit. Get my coffee out of the way. So there is Thunderhead Fortress, and then we'll do a little quick overlay. Thunderhead Fortress. So you can see the colors aren't as crisp on the Neoprene, which is expected. I mean, it's not paper. It's a material. It's like a mouse pad. But again, you don't have to deal with the durability thing. This stuff is super durable. I've been buying fat mats and stuff for many years now, and they last the test of time for playability. With that said, I probably will laminate my Thunderhead Fortress paper map so I can do multiple games at once, or demos, or whatever the case may be. But this, like, I'm not really a big fan of the paper map in this. It's a little bit shoddier than the Monster Apocalypse one, even though it is the same material. I feel like it was folded more. I don't know. Just like my Monster Apocalypse ones lasted really, really a long time. So I was playing without a poster board for the first couple games, and I didn't have this issue. So the paper map is a little already worn from in the corners. And also trying to figure out how to fold these up is also a pain in the ass. There we go. Come on, bend. There we go. Okay, so folding this up back to its original state, as you can see. So I'm going to give it an acceptable rating for the map. It's adequate for a starter box. It's a little disappointing that again, it might have been customs, it might not have been, but the folding parts on this already look worn and like it's been played with 1,000 times. Maybe I got the one that they used on stream. I don't know. Paper map, acceptable. Thunderhead Fortress in Neoprene, absolutely perfect. Yeah, the colors are a little bit duller, but it just you pay for what you get for, and you definitely get a good quality product from this. And anything of these fat mat things, like, they're next level stuff. The Monster Apocalypse one is amazing. This one's awesome. I hope that they do a whole collection of these things over time in the Neoprene. And it's just really clean, and just it feels good. It feels good to the touch. Like being able to pull out a game mat, throw it down, and have a bit of heft to it. Like it feels heavy. It feels nice. I could use it as a blanket if I wanted to. I could go outside in this and people would be like, oh my god, he's wearing the Riot Quest shirt. Where'd you get it? Be like, it's just a neoprene map. I just throw it on. It's just something I threw on. Very nice. So yeah, neoprene map, perfect. Paper map, acceptable. If I bought that separately outside of a starter box, I would say it was poor. But since it comes in a starter box, it's adequate. And it's included in the price, and it's a steal. Like the box itself is a steal. So ladies and gents, boys and girls, let's do the miniatures review now. So we're going to take a look at each individual piece of each mini, give you a review for each of the minis as we go, and then we'll talk about the starter set at the very end as a whole. So let's start off with Dez, since we already kind of started off with Dez. These are all her bits and bobs right here. The bits and bobs of Dez. Very nice. Whoopie-doo. So her cool pump fist. Her like, ugh! Look at that. Really nicely detailed. Just glancing at these models, they're really nicely detailed. Especially for metal minis, sometimes you end up with some very plain Jane details, or lack thereof. And look at this rocket arm. Like, this is ridiculous. It's so friggin' big. Like, look at that. Cocoon! It's like a friggin' ship cannon on her shoulder. Very friggin' cool. There's a little bit of mold line on there, but the same with on the other model. But easy, rounded areas that are blank without any details, that's exactly where I want them. Fingers all nice and clean. I like to look at the fingers. Some things I'm looking for when I'm looking at these minis. Lack of face detail. Merged details into each other, like capes merging into arms. Fingers merged into, or you can't see what they are. They look like they're wearing mittens. But look at Dez's face. You can see everything on there. Like, it's got a nice expression, too. Like, that's really, really, really good. I love her, like, hair. I like that she's kind of butch and feminine at the same time. She's got like a battle dress on. With like armored leggings. Some wicked bombs and things. Really nice detail. Look at this. This is a very, very clean model. No mold lines. There's a little weird sticky thing on here. I don't know what that is. See if this stuff fits. Now, I'm going to be pinning these. I know a lot of people might not pin these, so it'll probably going to be a problem for newer hobbyists. Because it is going to be a pain in the ass to actually just throw down glue and accept the fact that it will probably break off a little bit later. I would definitely recommend pinning these. I'm going to today, which you can watch after this. So what do I think of Dez? Dez is really great. There's no bad merged details with each other. The face is nice and clean. The weapons and the hands are very detailed. Overall, just a really nice miniature. Very much approved. I'm actually going to give it perfect. I know there's some mold line, but it's the usual hobby mold line. There's nothing poo-poo about it. I actually really like this one. This is perfect for me. C'est perfect, eh? Dez. Melty faces for metal, yeah. My biggest thing with metal minis is I hate when they're just like, you have like round face with slight nose, a crease, and 2 holes, and you're like, I get you're trying to make them like a no-named character, but it's a little too basic to the point where it's hard to paint. Let's take a look at Bamfist. He's got 3 parts, which we thought he only had 2, but he has 3. He's got his main body, his top knot, and his Bamfist. And some cat hair. Top knot, we're not going to take a look at this one. It's just like, it's just top knot. Not much to look at. No mold line on that though, which is nice. Sometimes you get them on the hair, and it's kind of awkward to get rid of. It was Bamfist. Got some awesome stuff on here. This, I would love to just buy a bunch of these bits, because this arm is just so cool. Like, look at that. Could use this for half a dozen games as for conversions and other things. He's got some neat runes running along here, like Kingdom of Zoo runes. Awesome fist detail, a lot of like clean, mechanical looking bends. Little hefty of a mold line running through there. But just very nice detail all around. Love it. And look at Bamfist himself. He is sexy. Take a little spin. Nice muscle definition everywhere. He's got some cool bits and bobs on him. A little bit of a merging here with the capes in these, but they're nice hard edges, so you can tell them apart. It's got a lot of Mechanica on him, which I wasn't expecting. Cool grenade. And his face has a lot of expression. And so far, from what I've seen in these models, their like facial expression is very, very nicely done. They always have some sort of quirk or spark that you can kind of pick up on through their facial expression, which is hard to convey a lot of times, especially in miniatures. Just very cool. So what do I think of Bamfist? Again, I didn't see any mold lines or anything on here. Let's see if his arm fits any sort of decent. He's got a nice big peg. This guy you might actually not need to pin. I'll still pin him anyways, but for those of you at home who want to kind of cut some corners, you probably won't need to. Look at that. That's just so cool. It fits so nicely. You could probably actually repose him like he's going to Bamfist downwards, or he's like swinging up, or swinging to the side. Like he's like, oh, yeah, you guys, yeah. So what do I think of Bamfist? I'm going to give him I too am giving him perfect. I like everything about him. He's got a nice pose. He's got great facial features. His fingers are nice and detailed. All of his stuff is clear. And he's exactly what I want from a mini. I know he's metal, but I would prefer resin. But he's really good in metal, so. Can even pin something in the hand, like a flag or something. Yeah, you can totally do that. Because remember, this is also used for War Machine and Hordes, so you could use them as potential, I mean, not in tournaments, but you could probably use them for proxies for other things. You can use them for IKRPG. It's really, really versatile. Let's do the Elven Lady Extraordinaire. So this is my least favorite character in the box. I'm just kind of sick of seeing Iris keep getting models. But we'll see if it's a good model or a poo-poo model. There it is. Comes in 3 parts. 2 shooty crossbows and with knives, and herself. Let's take a look at these shooty crossbows. It looks really weird, but very much elven tech. They're really tiny, by the way. Really tiny. Her fingers are nice and detailed. That's actually really nice. I know it's a little thing, but I like having seen the fingers. Same thing with this one. Fingers are nice and clean. Nice detail on there. Light mold line going down the back, but not a big deal. Doesn't run through anything important. And finally, let's take a little spin around Iris herself. Oh, don't worry, we'll pin her. I have like 0.5 millimeter drill bits here. Very cool. Her pose is a little basic. I'm not really too thrilled about it. She has a lot cooler models with other stuff. You could probably proxy them in place of hers, in place of this one. Little bit of mold merging, or sorry, a little bit of merging here along the bung boot. The rest of it, though, is pretty much separated very cleanly, very hard edge. Even underneath here with the leg on top of the cape, it's still pretty hard edged. Nice detail on the chainmail, or the linked mail, or whatever it's called. And her face is pretty clean. It's a little simplistic, but you can see all the features. You can tell what she is. You can tell who she is, and very nice. Yeah, like here, I don't know why the buckles are on the cape. That's a little bizarre. I keep finding these little fluffy things stuck in here, like someone's gloves were. I'm going to give this one a great, only because the pose is kind of boring, and the weird buckles are like merged onto her cape for some reason. So I'm going to give it, it's still a great model. Lots of really nice detail, very well done. Looking forward to painting this cape. I like painting capes because I can get some nice glazing on there. Glazing. I'm gonna do Gubbins last because he was our painting dude. So let's do Sir Dreyfus. Sir Dreyfus. So this guy is really bizarre in terms of his proportions. He's also, I have a feeling Sir Dreyfus is some sort of like elongated elven giant. Because if you compare him to Iris in size, he's like a foot taller than her. Or half a foot. So, Sir Dreyfus, let's take a look here. Sir Dreyfus, he is a little bit weird. Like I said, he looks like an elven giant or something. The reason why I say that is if you look at some of his features, they're a little bizarre. Lookout was saying this too, like his pose, his butt like sticking out, and his little itty-bitty ankles, and it's just a very weirdly proportioned model. If you try to picture a person inside of this. Now, who knows? Maybe maybe Sir Dreyfus isn't actually a person. Maybe he's a warjack. Like, just purely a warjack. So, let's take a look. So, I'm going to start with his lightning rod arm, which looks awesome, by the way. Again, this could be a really cool piece if you're building miniatures for Iron Kingdoms or looking for bits to kit bash. Very nicely detailed. No bad mold line. There is one that runs through there. That'll be easy to do if you have the right file, just to go down the edge. It is going to be annoying, though, but it's very light. Very, very light. You'll probably get away with not even doing it. You could probably just use a toothbrush. His backpack, which is super cool, too. I don't know, it reminds me a bit of Convergence or something like that. Or Defender X. It's like a miniature Defender X backpack. Some cool details in there too. His strangely resin shield, which I don't know if you can see it or not on camera, but you can see through it. I don't know why mine's clear. I can literally see through the... I'm hoping that once I get paint on there, that's not the case. But it's see-through. Can you see? No, you can't see that, but I can see my finger through the resin. Again, nicely detailed, a little simple, but very detailed. I shouldn't say simple, a little basic, I was going to say. I love all the fingers in here. Does he have one extra finger? Oh wait, no, he has 5. I thought he had 6 fingers. There is a really hefty, what's it called? Injection port. Right on the back there. That's going to be a little bit of a pain to get rid of because this feels very brittle. Like you can see it bend in my hand. So you got to be really careful with that. A lot of flash, but toothbrush can get rid of it. Yeah, a nail clipper would work. So let's take a look at the body. The body of the beast. Again, it's really weirdly posed. A lot of armor. A lot of armor. I'm not really sure how we're going to paint him yet, but he looks, honestly, he looks like a warjack that kind of went rogue, like a weird experimental warjack. I feel like that would be a really cool story for him, or a big reveal later on. Because he's not actually a person in there. He's or maybe the soul of a knight that's been trapped in an experimental warjack. Not much to say. I mean, there's no bad mold lines. He is weirdly posed. Let's see if this stuff fits. I like the ball joints because you can pose them how you want. Some of this looks a little weird, but you could like have him swinging forward or having his thing raised up like he's jousting. Does his backpack fit? His backpack's got a nice, hefty, chunky thing on there. Which is pretty cool. And you know what's kind of weird? I'm going to show you something that makes me think that he is a warjack, or maybe a convergence model in disguise. We're going to look at this in a second, but look! The booty bros! It's the booty bros! So the James model is convergence. Look at this. I'm totally painting them up as the same. As like boyfriend, girlfriend, bride, and groom. It's happening. It's official. We'll take a look at James after we finish the core set. But so what do I think of Sir Dreyfus? I'm going to give him a great score. I'm not going to give him perfect because he is a little weird looking. And that's not a bad thing. The stylization is fine. It's just like some of the proportions just feel really bizarre when you're trying to put things together and and paint. Yeah, so I'm going to give him a great. So let's take a look at the man of the hour, the one that we'll be painting up first, Senor Gubbs, a.k.a. Gubbins, a.k.a. Lord of Destruction, a.k.a. Bomber Extraordinaire, a.k.a. Bits and Bombs, a.k.a. Cherry Bomb, a.k.a. Exploding Chest equals you. Okay, so he comes in 3 parts: head, hand, body. Let's take a look at this little. What looks like he has a lighter in his hand. It is a lighter, actually. It is a lighter. Never mind. His head is very detailed, which is nice. You get to see all the fingers, all the bits and bobs. His face is where it really shines. Like, look at this expression. This, like, just breeds and it breathes insanity. That's the word I was looking for. It breathes a mischievous insanity that Gubbins seems to have. Now, I don't know what parts of this is that. Oh wait, no. I thought that was from the back. It looks like something you cut off, but it's actually the strap from his little helmet there. There is a bit of mold flash on his tips of his ears. Easily removed. His face is just super detailed. You can see all of his teeth. He's got his nice little helmet on, his little hat. Great expression. Love it. And finally, his buddy. Let's see what his hands. I don't think we're going to need to pin this one. This one already comes with its own, like, pre-pinned business. AKA friend killer. Yeah, it's a good one too. Hit it cool. AKA death by self-explosion. He seems to blow himself up a lot in the game. Let's take a little spin. Suicide Gubbins. That's kind of weird. And so there's the only thing that I can really see with this model. It's really nice and detailed with all the straps and all the creases and all the pant folds, and all of his clothing looks great. Very tiny though. But the weird thing is, it's like just a blank nothing at the bottom of this, which feels a little bizarre. I know he's carrying what looks like a backpack of stuff, and that bottom spot might be shaped in metal or wood, but it'd be nice to have a crease or a bolt or something down there that makes it a little less just a blank piece of metal. All the fireworks and stuff in the back. Let's see if his head fits on there nicely. Yeah, his head fits pretty well. Da 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 da. Betrayal! So, what do I think of Gubbins? Senor Gubbins. This part kind of takes away from the model a little bit, visually. I'm going to give it a great. It's still an awesome mini. Everything looks really nice, especially for a very tiny mini. And I can even just leave that there. That's how you know that the pin is working. So he's great. Nope, caught up on everything. Okay. Miniatures. The miniatures, ladies and gents. What do I think about the quality of the miniatures in this kit? This actually really awesome. Everything was nicely detailed. Everything was clean. There's a lot of good expression in the faces. All the people who had faces. In terms of newer to the hobby, which I feel like this game kind of gears towards, it might be a little bit tougher for folks to get down on building things and getting into the hobby. That's why it would have been nice to be resin, because most of the time you don't have to glue or sorry, most of the time you don't have to pin any of that stuff. So I would give the overall miniature quality with that in mind. For newer folk, I'm going to say it's good. For more experienced folks, I'm going to say it's great. I'm going to have to spend a lot of time pinning stuff. I know a lot of the other people in the community who have a little bit more experience also have been doing the same. And again, for this, I feel like it should have been maybe more resin side, purely because of this is kind of it appeals to younger audiences and more casual audiences than some of the more hardcore painters and players and things like that. So good for newbies, great for veterans, and yeah. Dun, 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 dun. So, what do I think about the whole starter kit in itself? How do I rank it? Honestly, the only real disappointment for me was the paper map, and it already being worn and torn at the edges and the folds. Now, with that in mind, with that said, I also got my stuff ripped up through customs. A lot of like everything was taken out from what looks like from customs. Nothing was untouched, it seemed. So maybe they put it back a little aggressively. I looked at both of... I didn't look at both of them today, actually. But I've noticed the same kind of wear along the edges in both kits. Now, I haven't opened up the actual map in the other kit. But in our kit here, you can see it's already torn up and bent. And we already have a hole in one of the corners on this particular map. With that in mind, everything else I really like. I like the artwork. I love the way the rulebook's organized. It's very clean. It's very progressive. It's very easy to understand. All the cards and things are also very easy to understand, which makes it great for explaining things and making sure people with visual impairments on both via medical or self-induced via drinking can see the cards. The miniatures themselves have an advanced section to them because you have to pin the things. It is going to be hard for people to get in and just drop in and glue these together and go, where Monster Apocalypse had that opposite effect. It was all resin. It was nice. You go in, you drop down, and you're ready to go within... There's a lot of... Maybe a bit more sanding and prep work, but you could jump in within an hour. This is going to be a couple for us. Overall, though, I feel like it's a really good... starter core box. You get a lot of value in there. Like, just the minis alone are worth the $50. I don't know what the price range is going to be for various places. I technically paid $50 for it, even though it was sent to me. I had to pay import fees because there was a lot of stuff in the box, so I paid $50 for our Riot Quest starter boxes. Luckgod says his wasn't sealed either. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to give this a great... It's a really good kit. It's far from perfect because of... Actually, I would say it's a great kit. It's far from perfect, like I said, because of the map and some of the minis are a little advanced.